Hey, Merry Christmas. So, a few days ago, I was drawing this cat, as you can see in the reference, right? I was doing it on Procreate and I screen recorded the whole process. So, I was like, I could probably show you guys how I drew it and yeah, you guys could follow through. I'm not Bob Ross, I'm not really good at painting, but if you want to follow through, you can do that, right? So, yeah, let's begin. The first thing I did was I put orange in the background, right? Because for color theory, well, my art teacher told me it's good to like have a background with the color so that you can get a good reference of the colors you're putting on top. So I put orange, and then I took like this reddish brown, right? And I basically drew three circles for like the base of the cat, and then around those circles, I drew the outline of the cat's body, right? So that's just to guide myself because there's this tip which is that you should always start with the bigger details before going with the smaller ones. So that's basically what I did. And after that, I did skip a few steps. I didn't realize that at the moment, but I didn't add like the shades to the cat, which is like the darker and lighter shades. So it looked just like a cat silhouette. And while I was adding the highlights for the colors, I realized that I made a mistake. So I had to erase the like highlights, or I don't know what you call that, like when there's light that reflects off of, like you can see it on the cat. There's light that is going off of the light bulb thingy. You get what I mean, right? Um, and I was drawing that, and then I was like, yeah, no, I gotta fix it. So yeah. Um, then after that, I fixed it. Right, I added. I took the same brown. I kept it in the same hue. I don't like to change hues a lot for like drawing the same thing in different shades. And all I did was change the saturation and the darkness. So you can experiment with that totally if you're doing it digitally. If you're doing it like in real life, then I don't know. I actually don't know how to do real life painting, so I can't help you there. Sorry, but um, yeah, that's all I do for the colors, right? For the shades, finding shades. Um, After I finally put the shadows and stuff, I got the highlights, right? The not the highlights. What do you call that? Like the light bouncing off the cat. I put that on there by using this brush texture that looks super nice. Um, and it doesn't look like light yet, but later on it will. It's my first time ever doing the light effect, so I hope you guys like it. And after doing like the reflecting light, I drew the base color for the eyes in a oval shape, right? And I wasn't gonna texture it yet. I haven't added the fur, I haven't added like the light details, so I was gonna add that later. So for now, I just left the eyes like that, and I went on to do the star that's on the head. So I started with the spring, right? Basically the same process. I just start with the base color and then add the darker shade and the highlight, and then I made the star. And the star was basically the same thing, except that the star didn't really have a highlight. I don't know why. So I just added the base color, I added the darker color, and then I added like a color between the lightest and the darkest. Um, and after doing the star, I was like, okay, I think I could probably start like putting texture on. So I got this on Procreate. I think it was called an old brush, and I took the same brown, like the same brownish red that was going around the cat, and I just dabbled that on specific parts, not everywhere, because if you put it everywhere, it looks kind of weird. But I just dabbled it in some places to create the effect of fur, right? And yeah, after that, I made the eyes. I started with like putting a yellowish white at the bottom of the oval, and then I put like a greenish kind of like a dark green, right, on the top. Later on, I did have to fix it because it didn't look that nice. But yeah, after that, I just added the pupils, I think that's what you call it, and the whitish part that goes like on the eyes, the reflecting light. I have no clue what these things are called. I just know what they look like. But yeah, I then made the whiskers. The whiskers was pretty self-explanatory. I didn't draw every single whisker, but I did draw like the basic shape. And I did that with a pencil, I think it was, and white color. So yeah. And then after that, I was like, okay, the cat is pretty much finished. Now I just got to do the lights, you know. So I added the light colors eh, on top of the places where the light was being like reflected, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy with this art piece. It could definitely like have improvement. You know, everything can be improved, but uh, that's pretty much it for this video. Merry Christmas, y'all. I'm probably not posting this video on Christmas. Maybe one day after. I don't know. But yeah, Merry Christmas. And Jesus loves y'all. Okay, peace.